Alright, today we're going to be ranking every ride at Universal Orlando Resort. Alright, so I recently got back and went to Epic Universe for the first time. I've been to the other two parks, but I went to Epic Universe for the first time. So here's our 5 categories: must ride, worth waiting, if the wait isn't bad, one-time ride, and never ridden. Alright? So let's just get into it, alright? So E.T. Adventure. E.T., it's a really, really good dark ride. There's no screens and stuff. So we're gonna put in the worth waiting, alright? Now, I'd say the queue goes pretty fast. Alright, so I'd say, if it's under 30, no, like 45 minutes, yeah, you gotta ride E.T. Alright, Minion Mayhem. I haven't ridden it since I was 8, and I don't really care to go back on it. So it's gonna go on the one-time ride. Alright. From what I know, it's nothing special. It's a screen ride. I think it's kinda like Jimmy Fallon's. It's alright. Alright. VillainCon, Minion Blast. Yeah, it's probably a one-time attraction. I did it in my most recent visit, and it was alright. I probably wouldn't go on it again, even if the wait wasn't very good, because there's other stuff to get done. But it wasn't bad, and it has cool stuff in the shop. You can buy like piranha guns and like the blasters from it. That's pretty cool. I didn't buy it, but yeah. Alright, Harry Potter. I'm a little biased on Harry Potter stuff. Of the now 4 main Harry Potter rides, Gringotts is the worst of the 4 main Harry Potter rides, excluding Flight of the Hippogriff, but it's still pretty good regardless of my bias. Okay? I think it's a must ride, and the scenery, the cave queue is brilliant, and then Diagon Alley, of course, is probably the best area in the studio's park. So yeah, I'm a little biased, but it's a pretty darn good ride regardless. The only thing is the glasses, but I hope they remove the glasses soon. Here, we're gonna go ahead and talk about glasses. We're gonna move Kong up. So Kong used to be a one-time ride, alright? I hated the glasses, but they removed glasses and updated the screens. So if they do that for Harry Potter and Gringotts, it could become a very good ride. So Kong went from a one-time ride to, if the wait isn't bad, alright? I don't mind if I don't have to wear glasses. I'll ride the ride, because they updated the screens and stuff. It's pretty darn good. All the screen rides could get a lot better if they just update the screens. Like in Epic Universe, the screens are brilliant. If they updated all the rides and like the studios and stuff to Epic Universe quality, the rides would be insane. I know they can't like close them all at once, but they should have started with. Honestly, I guess Kong's an alright starting point for it, because it's hard to close the Harry Potter rides to refurbish them. But next up, we have the Hogwarts Express from the studios to Islands. I mean, I think, yeah, if the wait isn't bad, it's good to ride the Express between the two parks. We're gonna go ahead and put the other one. Just if the wait isn't bad, it's definitely worth doing that over walking through City Walk and stuff to the two parks if the wait isn't bad. And honestly, if it's your first time, I think it's worth waiting, especially on the studio side. It's worth waiting if it's your first time. But yeah. Alright, Fast and Furious, one-time ride. Probably my least favorite ride between both parks. If they updated the screens, it'd still be a one-time ride, but it'd be a whole of a hell lot better. See, yeah, it's kind of like Kong, except worse. Because Kong, you at least have the cool animatronic at the end. Fast and Furious, it's just, the layout, it's just one room with a screen and the bus just goes back and forth. And then a single other room with a screen of like a club or something and the people just dancing and celebrating. The whole ride is just two rooms with like two different screens, just like the big wraparound screen and then the other room with the single screen. It's not worth it at all. It's a horrible ride. There's other stuff to go on. Alright, next we have The Simpsons. If the wait isn't bad, it's not a great ride, but it's something. The queue's pretty cool. Yeah, and you get to watch The Simpsons in the queue. So if the wait isn't bad, watch a little Simpsons in the queue, go on the alright ride, nothing special. The screens need to be updated. But yeah. Alright, I don't think I've ever been on the Twirl and Hurl. Curdos or Kudos or something. I don't think I've ever been on the Twirl and Hurl. So I'm not gonna rank it. But yeah, never been on it. So who knows? Alright, Rip Ride Rockit. It's not a must ride, but it is worth waiting. Okay? Rip Ride Rockit, of the 3 roller coasters in the 2 parks, it's the worst of Velocicoaster Hulk in that. But it's still worth waiting for. And I know it's leaving in August, and I didn't even ride it in my past visit because weather delays, and then when it opened, it was like 2 hours. And I had better stuff to do. But, I mean, I've ridden it 3 times in the past. I think I rode it at like 2 visits and then at a Halloween Horror Nights. It's worth waiting. Yeah. Alright, Men in Black, if the wait isn't bad. That might be, I know a lot of people love this ride, but I've really only been on it twice. I went on it for the first time like 2 visits ago, and I went on it in my last visit like a week ago. It's a really cool dark ride, but I feel like the layout is too big. Like, you're really far from your targets and stuff because they have the 2 tracks going. I feel like if it was 1 track, the ride would be a lot better. And honestly, I wouldn't even bother shooting. I just enjoy the ride like a dark ride, kind of. But yeah. Alright, Troller Coaster, never been on. And I'm mad because it replaced Woody Woodpecker, I think. I think it replaced it. I mean, I assume. Because it closed in that camp. And yeah, I've never been on it. Alright, Jimmy Fallon. If the wait isn't bad. Because the queue. It has the barbershop quintet. I mean, 2 times ago it was 4 people. But the last time I went, there were 5. So, quintet or quartet makes the queue pretty good. Alright, the queue's solid. Honestly, you can just sit in there and watch the quartet come out, or quintet. It's a pretty solid queue. The ride, the queue saves the ride from being a one-time ride. It's alright. The theming of the building and stuff, it lures you in, kinda. I like it. Alright. Mummy is a must ride. I mean, come on. Brilliant queue. The queue is great, and then the ride is just awesome. I think two visits ago I waited 2.5 hours for it. Like, it was wrapped outside and everything in the Florida heat. But what else are you gonna do? The Mummy is worth it. It might be short, but it's an OG. Well, it's not like an OOG, but it's an OG ride, and they better not remove it. It's a brilliant ride. One of, like, the second best ride in the studios. Alright, next we have Transformers. I don't know why. Well, we'll put in the wait if the wait isn't bad. I don't know why, but this ride gets insane waits. I don't think I've gone on it in my past 2 visits solely because the wait has been like 2 hours plus. Like, no other ride in the studios gets the wait, except for maybe Minion Mayhem on like hot days. But Transformer gets ridiculous waits every time I'm there for no reason. I don't know why. The rides, it's like a little worse than Spider-Man. It's alright, and I think you have to wear glasses, which I know you do on Spider-Man, but I just don't like glasses. I Count the Hat, never ridden. No. And then Stormforce Acceleratron or whatever it is, never ridden. Alright. I don't bother myself with those rides. Also, let's just go ahead and get all the rides I haven't ridden out of the way. Pterodon Flyers can't ride, and then we'll get to the Epic Universe. Alright. Next up, Spider-Man. We're putting it if the wait isn't bad. Now, the glasses on this ride actually do something other than just make the screen high resolution. The glasses kind of save this ride. Stuff is actually 3D and coming towards you in this ride. Alright? But would I wait over 30 minutes for the ride? No, I wouldn't. It's just, yeah. If it was a dark ride and less screens, it'd definitely be worth waiting, but it relies on too many screens. Alright, Hulk. Hulk is a must ride. It's a really good roller coaster, and it's pretty good. I didn't get to ride it on my last visit because of weather delays, because I guess I waited too late into the evening. The dumb weather delays stopped me, cock-blocked me from riding Hulk and Rip Ride Rocket. But, yeah, Hulk's better than Rip Ride Rocket intensity-wise. The only part about Rip Ride Rocket I like is the start going up. Hulk, I do love the shoot out of the cannon thingy. I don't know what it is, but it's a pretty darn good roller coaster, I'll have to say. Alright, Doctor Doom's Fearfall. We're gonna put in the worth waiting solely because I've never seen the line for this ride exceed 15 minutes. People are scared of it, but honestly, it's a really good ride. It gives you a really good view of both parks and stuff. I freak with the ride, alright? And the scariest part about the ride is the queue. Having to walk through that queue by yourself is scary. It's just like dark and it has like all this weird stuff. I don't even know. But it's worth waiting for. Alright? Because the queue is never long. Alright, Forbidden Journey, must ride. Forbidden Journey is probably my second favorite ride in the islands. It's such a good mixture of screens and actual stuff, actual dark ride components. The screens, they're alright. If they update the screens, it would probably be my favorite ride in the islands. But regardless of the screens, the dark ride, like the Forbidden Forest parts and the Dementors, the spiders, the Whomping Willow, they make the ride pretty darn good. And the ride style, the arm thingy with the seats, it's a pretty nice style ride. Alright, next we have Fly to the Hippogriff. It's a one-time ride for me because I've only been on it once, and I think it's solely because it's just a kiddie ride, and it's sitting right next to Forbidden Journey and Hagrid's, which Forbidden Journey, the line never gets over 30 minutes, and the queue's probably the best in the islands. The queue is pretty darn amazing. So, yeah. Fly the Hippogriff, it's just a one-time ride. Unless, like, Forbidden Journey's closed and you don't want to wait for Hagrid's, then yeah. Alright, Hagrid's, it's a must ride. It's a brilliant ride. It has a great story to go along with the ride and stuff. And it doesn't rely on screens. I don't think there's a single screen in the entire ride, which is just brilliant. The ride has Hagrid's hut with the blast-ended Scroot that spins around. Although last time I went, the Scroot animatronic wasn't working, but still, it's an awesome prop. It has the Forbidden Forest and the drop down and the shootout and the castle, like the castle ruins in the middle. The fluffy animatronic. It has the unicorns. It's a tough ride. And the queue. The queue is like second best behind Forbidden Journey. The only part I hate about the queue is the caves. Like, you'll be in a really cool room, and then you'll have to go through a cave where it's just down, down, down. The caves suck, especially if you get a delay in the caves. Now, the delays on this ride have gotten a lot better. It used to be like, oh, we're going to have attention, magical, non-magical folk. We are currently experiencing a delay. But the delays have gone from like hour long to like 15 minutes. Like, the ride's gotten pretty reliable. Yeah, I don't think there was a single delay last time I went. Now, last time I went, the first time I rode it, it started raining midway through, which kind of ruined the ride. Except for the Dark Forest part, but it was pouring. For the other parts, you couldn't look up. You were going too fast and stuff. But I rode it in the evening, no rain, and yeah, it's just spectacular. Dudley Do Rides, it's worth waiting. You get drenched, and last time I went, they fixed a lot of the water elements, so you get absolutely drenched, but it's worth waiting. It's a really good queue and ride. It's silly, but it's awesome. I freak with the ride, I guess. It just looking at this ride from the bridge from Jurassic Park into Toon Lagoon, oh my gosh, the ride looks intimidating, and the Mount Rushmore and all that, and it's a tough ride, and it's not scary. Popeyes, if the wait isn't bad, all right, you get absolutely soaked on Popeyes. You get soaked beyond belief. But it's a pretty darn good ride. It's probably the best, like, river rapids ride you can ever go on. And Dudley Doolittle Rides is probably the best log flume ride I've ever been on. Like, that style, like, just the straight log and stuff. The only thing about Popeyes, last time I went on it twice, okay? But they were making you go through the entire queue on that ride. Actually, we get put in worth waiting, because I've never seen the wait go past 15 minutes. But they had the whole queue open, and I don't know what they were expecting, but that queue can hold like 3 hours worth of people, I swear. And they made it so you have to walk through the entire queue to get on the ride. Like before, it was just like they closed off that part and it was just a straight shot to the ride. But it's like a 10-minute walk through that queue. It's ridiculous. So yeah. Next we have River Ride. Jurassic Park River Adventure. Must ride. Alright. They fixed a lot of the animatronics since I last went. And that made the ride a lot more ambience. The ambience of the ride was a lot better and more magical, I guess, than when the one dinosaur at the beginning with the long neck. I think it's not called a Brontosaurus, but when the long neck dinosaur is broken, its neck is just laying down and not up. It kind of ruins the rest of the ride for you, but they fixed that, and it's a must ride. And because the line for the ride never gets past like 20 minutes, even on a hot day, it's because the capacity on the ride's pretty darn good. So yeah, it's a must ride. Alright, Velocicoaster. It's a must ride. It's pretty good. The queue's a little buns, but it's a pretty good ride, and the line never gets past an hour. Okay? The line never gets past an hour. Like, Hagrid's can get up to like 2.5. Like, now it's getting better, like 2 hours, but Velocicoaster never gets past like an hour. And it's a pretty good ride. It's intense, which I like, and it's long for a roller coaster. Like, compared to Hulk, it's an alright coaster on length and stuff. Hulk's more intense, I feel, but Velocicoaster's newer, smoother, faster. I like it. Alright, now we have Epic Universe rides. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the ones I didn't ride. Constellation Carousel, didn't get to ride that. Fire Drill, didn't get to ride that. Dragon Racer Rally, and Stardust Racers, because it was on a weather delay half the freaking day, so I didn't get to ride it. So, yeah. And I'm also mad that I didn't get to ride Fire Drill. I would have rode it, because on the app, it said 15-minute wait, everyone come over here. And when we got there, it was on a weather delay, which the app did not show, and there was no rain in the area. And the guy said the queue had 2 hours worth of people. So not only did the app say it was on delay, but it also showed a 10 or like 15-minute wait. So we walked over there for nothing. Alright. And then, yeah, Stardust Racers. Yeah, whatever. I didn't really care to ride Constellation Carousel. And Dragon Racer Rally, it looks cool if the weight isn't bad. I'm just going to go ahead and rank them because I know what I'd put. Constellation, one-time ride. Fire Drill, Dragon Racer, if the weight isn't bad. And then Stardust, worth waiting. Okay? Because I know what I'd put. Alright, of the rides I rode, hiccups. If you're going to Epic Universe, only must ride. It's it's like Hagrid's if it was a little shorter. It's a pretty darn good ride. And I waited 2.5 hours for it because it was on a 45-minute delay plus like a 90-minute queue. It it was bad. But it's a pretty good ride. It has the cool toothless animatronic at the beginning that hits the button and sends you flying. The sulfur pit or whatever it's called where the one guys come out, that's a pretty cool area. And just overall again to look around while you fly around the Isle of Berk is pretty cool. Alright. Yeah. It's time. No, we're saving that for the end. Alright, Curse of the Werewolf. If the wait isn't bad. Alright? If the wait isn't bad, Curse of the Werewolf is a good ride. But when I went, at least, I got to ride it during early access, but the rest of the day it was over an hour and a half wait to 2 hours. It's pretty short, and the scenery isn't that great. You kind of just go in and out of the one building 3 times. Though the werewolf animatronic is cool and the ride layout's cool. They just need to have made. I know it wasn't originally planned, but the ride just needed to be longer. I just don't think they anticipated the space the ride would need. It just needed to be a longer ride, in my opinion. If it was like 20 seconds longer, I think it'd be worth waiting for. But yeah. And if they made like one more like building, but like, yeah. It has like 2 animatronics. Well, 3. Because like before you get into the station, there's some, I don't know, girl. But the 2 werewolf animatronics on either side, they're cool, but yeah. Alright, Yoshi's. I was like, if the wait isn't bad, it wasn't a bad ride. I FaceTimed on the ride. Like, they let you have your phone out on the ride and stuff. It's like 5 minutes long. But it's great. Just take pictures and stuff of Super Nintendo World. Yeah, I just sat on FaceTime and was showing my girlfriend, like, the Super Nintendo World. It's an alright ride. It's cute. I mean, if the wait isn't bad, well, it said it was a 15-minute wait, but we waited like 30 minutes for it, but it was still alright. Alright, Mario Kart. If the wait isn't bad. We were, because of a weather delay, and it was like the only ride we hadn't been on that was indoor, we were about to wait 3 hours for this ride. But they opened the single rider line like 15 minutes into us waiting. And me and my little brother, we went to that single rider line and got on in like 5 minutes. Because we were like the 5th people in the single ride. Now, the ride. The queue looks like it's going to be really good. And then you get to it and you see, at least where I was, it's like 3 rooms with almost the exact same layout and thing. And each room is probably, when it's full, each room is probably an hour long. And it's like 3 rooms that look like almost identical. It's just like, yeah. And you can see the entire queue when you're walking in. You have to suffer and see all those people in line. They make you see what you're about to go through before you even go through it. Now the ride, the glasses ruin it. The AR goggles ruin it. I took them off and enjoyed it like a dark ride. Because it just had all these guys flying in your face and shells you could shoot, and I could not see the ride whatsoever. All I saw was these dumb guys in my face. So I took the glasses off and enjoyed it like a dark ride. I feel bad for the people I was riding with. They waited 3 hours, and the ride got stuck in two different places. It got stuck in like the underwater part and just kept jittering for like 2 minutes. And then it got stuck in like the cloud part for like another 2 minutes and just spun. The ride's alright if you ride as a dark ride. But yeah. Minecart Madness, we'll put it in the worth waiting. Alright? I like the environment. And the wait's not that bad, except if you get 2 45-minute weather delays while waiting. We were there an hour and a half past close in the line for Minecart Madness. We got in their line at like 8:15, which had it had an advertised wait of an hour and 15 minutes. All right, it was gonna be the final ride of the day, and we got in line, and instantly, like 15 minutes after we got in line, weather delay. Only ride in the park on a weather delay. But people in front of us just left. We went from the like back of the outdoor area all the way to inside in an hour of people leaving. So it was like we were progressing through the queue, so it wasn't bad. And then the second delay was just maintenance for like 30 minutes, I think. They already had us on a weather delay, now they're gonna do a maintenance delay? Holy dead ass. And that maintenance delay was already an hour after close. Like, we were almost to the ride. We were by the dumb, like, Grandpa Kong animatronic, and they go on maintenance delay? Oh my gosh. But it's worth waiting. It was a cool ride. The concept's really cool. The ride's a little short, but it was worth waiting. Alright. Brilliant ride. Absolutely brilliant. Queue, brilliant. This ride is the most attractive ride for me from the outside. I see that, and I'm like, dang, I want to go on that. Because we were going to ride Curse of the Werewolf first, but we saw Unchained. Like, I knew what it looked like, but seeing it in person, and we were like, we gotta ride that. And the capacity is brilliant. This ride, despite every other ride in the park having like a 2+ hour wait, this ride never goes past like 45 because it just hustles people onto the ride. And it's a brilliant ride. The Phantom of the Opera animatronic, the Mummy animatronics, like coming out of the coffin and like hanging from the ceiling. Creature of the Black Lagoon, where it faces you forward. One of the Dracula animatronics wasn't working when I wrote it, but oh well, the animatronics are just brilliant. There was the other animatronics. The one guy, I don't know. The ride was pretty darn good. It was decent length. And it didn't rely on screens. There were a couple parts with screens, definitely, but there weren't really, except for like the one girl, most of the actual people were animatronics. But the screens made the ride cool, because the screens are really high quality. So, yeah, it's a pretty darn brilliant ride. I don't care what you have to say. The ride is probably tied for best with Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry. Now, I waited 3.5 hours for this ride. When I got in line, it was wrapped past the circus. Plus, I saw the circus show. Hold on, let me talk about that. The circus show was really good. Um, the animatronics on Lycirc Arcanus, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Those animatronics were so good, and the curtain closed with like the underwater horse. Holy crap! And you have to see Lycirc Arcanus if you go. But anyway, back to Harry Potter. So the queue was wrapped like past it, 3.5 hours. Took us probably 30 minutes to actually get into the building. I grabbed some butterbeer on the way. Like the line stretched, like people were just buying butterbeer from the line and stuff. Like it was just right there, and you could just buy it from the line. So I bought some butterbeer. And then by the time I got into the building and got through the Flu Metro, I was out of butterbeer and I was kind of bored. And then you go into that outdoor room, and that room's probably 40 minutes long. That's the worst part of the queue. But after that outdoor room, and we had to go outside in some parts, but luckily it started pouring down rain like the second after we got back inside from that little outdoor little back and stuff. Luckily, we got back inside just as it started pouring. And waiting through that room, I just sat on my phone. Battery life went down a lot. But, yeah. And then you get to go through the Flu network. You get to go through the fireplace. And you end up in the most brilliant piece of queue ever made for anything in the world. The queue made for that ride, the Ministry of Magic, holy crap. It's brilliant. And they made that mostly just for a queue. Because they had the Ministry viewing, where you can just walk in and view it, closed when I went. So that being just for a queue, oh my gosh, it's brilliant. And then you go through some other rooms that are just like standard, like themed queue, like Ministry, like rooms. Dolores Umbridge's room is a pretty cool part of the queue. I forgot to take a picture of it. I don't know why I was doing, but yeah. And then you get to the ride. Now, the ride isn't as intense, but I think it does a brilliant job of animatronic versus screen. Okay? Or like the clock room with the pendulums. Thank goodness that wasn't a screen. If that was a screen, it probably ruined the ride. But that's pretty darn good. The big, like, rhinoceros, I don't know what the creature's called, but thank goodness that wasn't entirely a screen and there was an actual animatronic of it. The courthouse scene with the animatronics is brilliant. Like, or the court scene where Dolores is actually getting tried. The lift parts, they're pretty good. They're physical lifts with a screen inside. I think it's pretty good. And yeah, the ride's pretty long too. It was advertised, I don't know by who, but Google said it was an 11-minute ride, and Google claimed it was by Universal or whatever. It was like maybe a 6 or 7 minute ride. Alright. Forget that. But yeah. I'm a Harry Potter fan, and it was just a brilliant ride. Just, yeah. That was really good. Alright, now, I want to make this video like 45 minutes long, so I'm going to do a souvenir dump. Alright, hang tight, I'll be right back. Look, you can still see my hand and everything. Alright, first up, we have Alright, I didn't buy a wand this time, but I own 3 wands when they only cost $40. Now they cost 65. But right here, Sirius Black's wand. I should have brought one this trip. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't bring a single one of my 3 wands. I should have brought me and my little brother one so we could do the cool stuff in like Diagon Alley, Paris, and Hogsmeade. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, I have Sirius Black's wand. I just have Death Eater. It's just a Death Eater swan. It doesn't say whose, but I bought it when I was like 8. So yeah, it's Death Eaters. It has a cool skull and stuff. I don't know, it's a pretty cool wand. It has like the basilisk, Death Eater. And then, so the Butterbeer mugs in Epic Universe are brilliant. This thing, and it's only like $5 more than a regular Butterbeer, and you get the awesome cup for it. Like, cheers. Drinking Butterbeer out of this, I felt VIP. All the common folk were drinking out of their little cups with their straws. Me, I own them. Alright, next. And I spent $150 this time on Harry Potter stuff. Alright, next. We have... I bought some exploding bonbons. Oh shoot, I forgot to take the wrapper off of this. But anyway, I bought some exploding bonbons because the box looks cool, obviously. It's like a triangle and stuff. And the sides are cool. And yeah, I'm not going to eat them, but it's for display on my bookshelf. Alright, next. I got a souvenir tin of Bertie Bott's Ever Flavor beans. Now, I ate a couple of these because I might eat them all. Well, not like the bad ones, but me and my little brother were like playing a game where, you know, we like eat one blindly. But yeah, because it has the other side, which is just a picture of beans, which I think is fine. If I displayed it like this instead of with the actual beans, but $25 for the metal tin, but it's going on display. It's awesome. I freak with it. Alright, next. We got a chocolate frog. And I've ate a little bit of the frog, but I bought the $31 souvenir tin box. But it comes with 5 cards. It comes with Dumbledore, comes with Rowena Ravenclaw, comes with Helga Hufflepuff, Salazar Slytherin, and Godric Gryffindor. So it comes with all the founders of Hogwarts and Dumbledore, of course, which I actually have a Dumbledore card. It's not like the hexagon like this. It's like a regular that I got from a chocolate frog box when I saw Harry Potter on Broadway. Horrible show. Well, I mean, it's good, but it shouldn't be canon. But, yeah. So, yeah, I got this souvenir chocolate frog tin, which is awesome. I mean, $30, but going on the bookshelf. Alright, next, we have... I bought this for my girlfriend. I haven't given it to her yet, but we have a love potion. Stunning. I mean, my camera quality sucks, but stunning. The ones in the islands and studios, like in Zonko's and the sweet shop in Diagon Alley. I forget the name of that one. It doesn't look cool, but in the sweet shop in Paris, this thing looks so good. I mean, yeah. And it was $12, you know? It's really cool looking. It was worth it. Honestly, it's better than the chocolate frog and stuff. It's a souvenir box. Alright, next. Well, my Dumbledore card fell, so I guess I'll just show that. Here's my Dumbledore card from that. But anyway, next, we have Harry Potter's wand. I didn't buy this. I think I got it from, like, my cousin or something. But it's Harry's wand. Pretty cool. And then, so yeah, the butterbeer mugs at Epic are brilliant. I mean, this is still cool. I ate at the 3U Broomsticks for the first time, and I got this mug with my meal. It's pretty cool, but compared to the Epic Universe mugs, it's alright. Alright. I have three more. Alright. I got this box of jelly slugs. Once again, I'm not getting. Well, I might eat the slugs on this one because you can really only see into the box on like these two little slits. But the box, just cool. I love Harry Potter. So yeah, the box is just really freaking cool. Alright, finally, I bought the biggest thing I bought. And then first I'll show this. I got Felix Felicis. They need to sell more potions. This is awesome. If they sold like a, well, I don't even know, but if they sold more potions, it'd be awesome. Because that and the love potion are both brilliant. I freak with them. And then I bought a goblet. I think it's, I don't even know. I think it's supposed to be the Triwizard Cup. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the Triwizard Cup, and it lights up and stuff. It's pretty freaking cool. Except I screwed it on, and I can't get the top off. But I mean, that's whatever. But it's a pretty freaking cool cup, and it was like 25. But yeah, I'm getting a call. What the heck? I'm getting a call, so I'm gonna end this. But see ya.